Hey there, it's Walt. So this past weekend, I spent planting tulip bulbs and daffodils. And it was a pretty big project. There were a lot of bulbs to plant, and it required a lot of preparation of the soil and weeding and edging and getting it all planned and mapped out, and then actually doing the planting itself. And it was a pretty tiring process and a satisfying one in many ways. And I started thinking how the planting of bulbs is very much like anything that's of worth. It's a long-term play. It doesn't yield to the immediate gratification, the immediate satisfaction. I will look forward to those days in April, May, and June next year when those beautiful tulips and daffodils will bloom. And until then, I entrust them to the soil. It's in a sense an act of faith that we plant and the bulbs will grow. But they just don't grow by themselves, of course. They took all of that preparation and they will take care over the winter. We need to have the faith that the soil is good, that the season will be kind, that I'll have the resiliency and the reserves to show up and to continue to care for those beds over time. And resist the temptation to dig them up and check on them, to trust that with the care that I give to the soil, that they will in fact grow in the spring. And like relationships, marathons, mountain climbing, book writing, keynote preparation, anything that's worthwhile requires the planting and the care and the attention over the long haul. There is so much noise out in the internet that if you do this one thing, do these three keys, these three steps, you'll be an overnight success. And Ann and I have built 5 successful businesses, and none of them have been successful overnight. Every single one of them has taken time and a dirty 4-letter word called work, and a lot of care and attention to detail, a lot of struggle, a lot of fatigue over time. And there's so much desire to have it be easy. Everybody wants it to be easy. Why can't it be easier? And I love that old mantra of Jim Rohn's. He said, don't ask that it be easier, ask that you be better. And I think that's part of the challenge, is to put aside the noise of the internet and really focus on how we can be better, how we can show up more resiliently, how we can be better gardeners of our lives, of our businesses, of our relationships, of our wellness, to pay even more attention, to lean into the discomfort and to grow over time. And so I invite you to think about what you will plant over the next months before the end of 2020. As you look into 2021, as you look forward to the seasons ahead, what will you plant? What will you begin to cultivate? What will you imagine can happen in the seasons ahead? And lean in to the uncertainty. Lean in to that act of faith that you will show up and be able to create a magnificent outcome. Races are run one stride at a time. Mountains are climbed one step at a time. Books are written one page at a time. Cathedrals are built one brick at a time. And anything worthwhile requires both that act of faith and that constant attention and care. What will you create in the days and weeks and months ahead? Lean in. Make that act of faith. Cultivate that magnificent outcome. Make it a great rest of the day, great rest of the week. Talk soon.